America great again.
What kind of a country do we want to have?
The truth of my life disproves their lie.
I think climate change is real.
We need to be able to have that policy debate.
In this episode, the Washington Examiner is taking a look at where the candidates stand on elections. Donald Trump has continued to push the falsehood that he won the 2020 election, even as he faces 2 indictments over those claims. Unlike during 2020, he now says he'd embrace early voting.
My question is, do you now encourage and embrace early and voting by mail, and legal ballot harvesting?
I do, but I also have to say something else, because the one thing a lot of people,
But this is important,
including
you do.
don't talk about, they also create phony ballots.
Ron DeSantis has walked a fine line, acknowledging that the 2020 election wasn't stolen without defending the way it was conducted.
Of course he lost.
Trump lost the 2020 election.
Of course.
Okay.
Joe Biden's the president. But the issue is, I think what people in the media and elsewhere, they want to act like somehow this was just like the perfect election. So I don't think it was a good run election. But I also think Republicans didn't fight back. You've got to fight back when that is happening.
Vivek Ramaswamy has blamed technology corporations for the outcome of the 2020 election, without embracing Trump's claims of fake ballots and cheating.
The 2020 election was stolen principally by big tech. The Google search algorithms that suppressed actual stories that you could have read on Donald Trump. Hunter Biden laptop story suppressed on the eve of an election. There's definitive data showing that actually would have changed the outcome of the election.
Senator Tim Scott argued that cheating did occur in the 2020 election, but not enough to tip the scales. In Iowa, he said, quote, "I do not believe the election was stolen. There was cheating, but was the election stolen? There's a difference." And Nikki Haley has previously criticized Trump's 2020 election focus. She's called for reforms that give Americans more trust in elections.
I think it's important that voters want to have election integrity. That's the biggest thing. So when you look at what happened, you had mail-out balloting that we know was happening. We know that there was harvesting that was happening. And then you had secretaries of state that did things without approval from their legislatures. Those are pretty serious. And so what we've seen happen in states is they've started to pass election integrity laws, which we need to have.
Former Vice President Mike Pence is perhaps the most forceful in rebutting Trump's election claims, since he was directly at odds with Trump when it came time to certify the results.
The Georgia election was not stolen, and I had no right to overturn the election on January 6th.
With Trump spending so much of his time relitigating the 2020 race, GOP candidates will have to find a way to move the conversation forward without alienating his supporters. Sarah Bedford for the Washington Examiner.